Hey there YouTube, WhiskeyCactus here, welcoming you back to our Let's Play of His Chuunibyou Can't Be Cured. Now before I do anything, I'm just gonna hop over to this, so that now I can actually talk. This is episode number 5, and last time we did more stuff with Yui. We had a gigantic depression session last time where Kagura came into our group meeting and just basically said we all fucking suck. And everybody was depressed, and then I made them less depressed. And then we went home. And now we are in the auditorium for a special announcement. So I'm excited to find out what that is. The club auditorium is a pretty large and classy place, for a club building at least. Seems to be almost as large as the actual school auditorium, where school events and school speeches are usually held. To be honest, this is actually my first time inside this auditorium, considering the fact that the club building wasn't even existing up till a year ago. One more thing that I find surprising is the number of students currently here right now. If I'm not mistaken, only the members of the Game Development Club were asked to come here for the surprise announcement. However, judging from the appearance of the crowd, I'd estimate around 300 students are here right now. Are these all students from our school? Some of them don't seem to be from around here. I see someone with a different uniform. Yep, definitely not everyone here is from my school. But if that's the case, then that's even more strange. Why are so many students from different schools gathered in one school auditorium on a random school day? How many times can we say school in one sentence? Yui leans closer to me, as she cups her hand over my ear for a whisper.
This isn't normal.
You're not normal. Why are you so close? Sumiki turns to us with a serious expression on her face. I heard that, Yui, and yes, you are right. There is definitely something going on. I is just looking around, observing everyone. Meanwhile, Takahito seems to be picking out the programmers he knows from the big crowd in front of us. Whoa, this is awesome. It's like a meeting of all the aspiring game developers from Sapporo. Totally awesome! 4 of us all look at Takahito in surprise.
Sapporo? Everyone here is from all over Sapporo?
Apparently. Yes. He nods enthusiastically, his eyes sparkling like stars. Isn't it amazing? Oh, isn't it amazing? Wonder if we can talk to those people over there. Student developers from all over Sapporo.
Young artists.
What?
Sapporo.
Yeah. Why are we so inconsistent with this voice acting? I don't get it.
Student musicians. Sapporo.
Takahito just grins while the rest of us still feel very overwhelmed. I don't know what's going to happen, but I feel like he's going to be something. It's going to be something big. If we could get everyone's attention, please. Looks like it's starting. Sumiki just nods, putting a finger to her lips. Please take a seat and settle down. We will be starting in a few minutes. The 5 of us walk a little closer to the front before taking our seats at some of the available chairs. We all have no idea what exactly will be starting in a few minutes, but I can feel everyone's excitement in the room. It's very overwhelming, to say the least. My heart is beating so fast, and my hands are feeling clammy. I've never felt anything like this before. Greetings, young developers of Sapporo. A murmur of excitement starts to rise from the crowd. Every second that passes is adding to the feeling of anticipation in the whole room. As we all know, in the recent years, there has been a surge in the game development industry. More and more students are getting interested in working for the industry when they graduate someday. More and more universities are adding game development to their list of available majors for all these interested young people. As high school students, all of you here have a major advantage. You are in a much better position than someone who had started at a later stage of life. You have made the right choice to start young. Many people in the auditorium start clapping. Even I can't help but feel both proud and happy at the announcer's words. Glancing at my teammates, it seems like they feel the same. For 5 years now, countries from all over the world have been matching up against each other in the annual game development competition for the youth. Japan has never been interested in joining, but this year marks the change that we've all been waiting for. This year, Japan will be competing in the international competition, and some of you here may get the chance and the privilege to represent our country. Are you ready for the challenge? I fucking am, you damn right. This time the crowd goes wild. It's obvious just how pumped up everybody is. Whoa, 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 this is much better than I thought.
This is wonderful.
Indeed. I never thought I would feel this way.
Man, it's about time.
The reason why Japan is competing this year, why all of you are here, is because of one special company. The excited murmurs started up once again, getting even louder. Dude, they're gonna say it. They're gonna say it. Thanks to them, young developers from all over Japan will get the chance to compete. They have offered to sponsor the teams who would be competing in the international competition. Aside from that, they also offer to train the chosen teams in their own headquarters before the competition. Wow, that's darn amazing. He turns to me. The star is still shining brightly in his eyes. June, we have to win. I don't care what else we accomplish in life, but we have to win this. I let out a slight chuckle, finding it both funny and amusing just how hyped up he is about this. Looking at him from the distance, he doesn't seem like the kind of person who would get this giddy over game development. But as someone who has known Takahito for some time now, quite some time now, I know he's not just any typical aspiring developer. Believe me, he really has the skill in him. Well, we'll certainly do our best. This company is headed by one special man, a man who has single-handedly managed to change the face of gaming in Japan, and his name is Akihiko Kayaba. Hashtag SAO. And today he wishes to speak to you all. The loud collective gasp from the crowd fills every corner of the auditorium halls. Please welcome Mr. Issa Kabir, CEO and founder of Hailstorm. The cheers and claps that follow Mr. CEO's reveal are almost enough to make me deaf for a few seconds, but I no longer care. At this point in time, all I care about is the fact that I am here in the school club's auditorium, along with 200 other potential contestants in the sponsorship, listening to Hailstorm's CEO himself. There's nowhere I'd rather be right now than here. Oh, hello there, Mr. Person Face. The man who comes up to the stand from the backstage is nothing like what I had imagined him to be. Before this moment, I had imagined Hailstorm's CEO to be a slightly nerdy, perhaps even geeky, and surely clever man who had managed to climb the top ladders of the country's developmental industry in just a few years. But the man who approached the microphone was nothing like that. He looks old, perhaps in his late 50s, because that's old. But he seems to possess the creativity of a younger brother, the wit of an older brother, the strength of a grandfather. Although he was nothing like I had imagined, I can definitely see how he managed to earn himself a top spot in one of the leading industries of the country to date. So this is the CEO of Hailstorm.
He looks like he could be my grandpops.
Poor dude.
I don't know, he seems... Wow, I don't even know what to say.
I glance at silent Takahito beside me. His eyes are shining so brightly I could have sworn he's got tears in them right now. Well, I guess Issa Kabir is pretty much one of Takahito's idols. I don't know what kind of voice to do for him. I kind of just want to do the deep Kratos voice, but I kind of been doing that for a lot of people. Alright, we'll just go with it. Greetings, my dear young developers of Sapporo. Yeah, that works. We'll go with that. Everybody starts cheering again, and we all can't help but cheer alongside everyone else. The emotions in this place are running so high in this place that it's impossible not to get yourself carried away in this place. That's an implied in this place at the end of that one. Can I see which ones of you here are artists? Plenty of hands shoot up, almost half in fact. Ai looks around as she raises her own hand elegantly. What about writers? Several hands also rise up in the air. This music's actually really fucking good. Sumiki hesitantly raises hers, not even higher than her head, but Yui takes her arm and raises it high up. What about musicians? There aren't as many musicians as there are artists or writers, but there also seem to be around 3 dozen or more. Yui raises her hand proudly. And lastly, programmers. This time, around 1/4 of all the students in the room raise their hands. Takahito just raises his hand nonchalantly, but I see that he's also trying his hardest not to burst into excitement. It's very nice to see all of you here. Thank you for coming to my little event. As I look at Mr. Kabir, I see something in his eyes. Joy and perhaps a hint of pride. When I was your age, many, many years ago. Now don't ask how long ago that was. A light chuckle exhales from the crowd. The game industry was only starting to rear its beautiful head in our beloved country. I was one of the few indie game development enthusiasts in my time. Back then, game development, especially on the indie level, was considered a nerdy, geeky activity, and was only enjoyed by solitary people who had nothing to do with their time. Your hands are tiny, bro. What up? In other words, the nerd kids, the geek kids, the loser kids. Fuck you! I don't like where this is going at all, quite honestly. The whole room falls into a hush. Mr. Kabir's eyes are still shining as brightly as ever. I don't know what the reason for this is, but it seems fascinating. Of course, I never let myself become affected by their words. I loved creating games. I created games for the sake of it. I created games because I loved it. Back then, the technology to create was still not as advanced as the tool you have at your disposal now. Game development was no easy task. If you think it's hard now, imagine how it was many years ago, back when we still had to manually do every little thing. Automation was godsend, believe me. Again, the crowd laughs quietly. Despite that, though, I never gave up. No matter what other people told me, no matter what hardships I had to face, I believed in myself because I loved what I was doing. In love, there is no obstacle hard enough that you cannot overcome. I look around me. In this auditorium are hundreds of other students who are also aspiring to reach the same dream that I am also aspiring to reach. Some of them may be better than me, some not. But the point is, all of us are trying to get there. I've always told myself that I wouldn't give up. Sometimes it gets really hard. But watching Mr. Kabir make his speech now, I think I was right in not giving up. He was right in not giving up. I'm sure you've been informed of my decision to sponsor teams that would be representing Japan in the international competition next year. All of you here are open to join the auditions in the near the end of the semester. However, I would like to ask one request of you before you make your final decision. Everyone holds their breath in, not wanting to make a single noise for fear of missing what Mr. Kabir is about to say. Please try your best to finish at least one project on your own this semester before you audition. Creating your own project would be a good practice for what is to come in your game development journey, and also, it is a way to gauge your current skill level in whatever element of game development you've chosen to focus on. I believe that all of you are worthy of creating a game on your own, but you are all ready to prove that you are all... I can read! But are you all ready to prove that you are also worthy to be the representative of your own country? The answer lies in your hands, my dear children. Takahito takes a deep breath. Don't ever forget to never stop believing in yourself. He's one hell of a motivational speaker. You may be just young student developers now, but with hard work and dedication, you will surely reach your dreams. Who knows, the budding developers of today may be the innovators of the future. And it is all up to you. I hope to see you all at the auditions. Again, the crowd goes wild. It's obvious just how much impact this simple speech has done to all of us in the room. Impact the speech has done to all of us in the room. Right now, I bet those who still weren't sure whether they should join or not have finally gotten their answers. And I bet I can guess just what their answer will be.
We definitely gotta win this competition.
You damn right.
Yes, we will.
I mean, of course we will. We're the protagonists. We can certainly try. Oh, you are such a Debbie Downer. Don't bring your negativity over here. I'm having a parade. I'm having a parade here. You can take your fucking rain cloud and just go away. Please and thank you. We'll do our best. Amidst all the cheering and excited murmurs, I turned to my team with a huge smile on my face. Let's do this! Yeah! After the exciting announcement, we were all instructed to go back to our respective classes for the next period, much to our dismay.
Man, I thought they were gonna excuse us for the rest of the day.
Right? What's this bullshit? As if they do that anyway.
Yeah, what a bummer.
You shouldn't have gotten your hopes up, Yui. Yeah, man. I just stares at her while Sumiki pats her back, smiling slightly as she does so. It's alright, Yui. At least we will not miss any lessons in class. Yui looks at her as if she was crazy.
What the?
Takahito just nudges her. This is why you're not at the top of the class.
Whatever.
She rolls her eyes and we all laugh. Shall we meet later today? Yeah, we've already finished another idea sheet for the next scene, haven't we?
Let's just do it in class.
What for? Yui blinks at him, then gives a hesitant smile.
For a change. We can do that.
I mean, or you could pay attention in class. Fine. That too... Oh, okay. That too is fine with me. Sumiki turns to me, a question in her eyes. June? I'm about to say yes when I suddenly realize something. Where did I put the idea sheet? Don't tell me I left it in the club room. Ugh. Yup, I definitely did. What a hassle. I scratched the back of my head, trying to figure out who to excuse myself from my teammates. That should be how to excuse myself from my teammates. Wait, I have to go back and get something from our room. But we are going back to our room right now. I mean the club room. Sumiki looks at me suspiciously. Yes, I left the idea sheet. Yui and I both frown at me. Man, what a hassle.
Maybe you should go get it.
Well, I was planning on doing that, so seems like a non-issue, right? That's what I was thinking. Takahito looks at me with a hesitant expression on his face. Should we get back now, or... Yeah, don't wait up for me. Okay, see you in class. I half walk, half run back to our room, located up on the 3rd floor of the building. This isn't gonna be good. I bet you it's gone. I bet you Kagura has it. It's the floor specifically dedicated to all the Young Developers Club members. You have a whole fucking floor of the school building just for Young Developers Clubs. What the fuck, man? Ugh, American schools, you gotta fucking step up your game. Right now, there's an exhibit for all the game development teams. I have to get some papers that I left during our last group meeting. Man, how stupid was I to not realize that my school papers were also placed in that same pile. Stupid June. Sometimes I wish I wasn't so stupid. Sometimes I wish I was able to use my wish-granting power. Excuse me. With my mind pretty occupied and my eyes not focused in front of me, I accidentally hit something in the middle of the hallway. Or rather, someone. I bet I know who. I'm sorry. I look at the person I had just bumped into, intending to give them an apologetic smile. Oh, I was wrong. However, my eyes grow wide. Guys. I promise I can fucking read. I can read. I just can't do it when the fucking camera's on me, or the microphone's in my face. However, my eyes grow as wide as saucers as I realize who that person is. Here's the thing, if you've been keeping up with my channel, by now you should know that I'm gonna stumble over my words every other sentence. This is nothing new. Mr. Issa Kabir. The older man, also known as the CEO and founder of Hailstorm, smiles at me in a way that only someone with a lot of experience in life can do. I get it, he's fucking old. Old-ass 50-year-old, man. Jesus. For a few moments, I feel everything dim around me, as my head feels much, much lighter than before. Whoa, careful there, young one. He holds me up with one arm. His grip surprisingly very strong for someone his age. Jesus Christ. Guys, 50 is not that old. Is really not that old. This guy... Make it sound like this guy's a fucking geriatric. Like, Jesus God. As my mind starts to accept the fact that I just bumped into the company president himself in the hallways of the 3rd floor, I begin to panic. Mr. Kabir, it's you. You're the founder and CEO of Hailstorm. His small eyes get even smaller as he smiles at me warmly. Yes, I believe you've got the right Issa Kabir, my boy. I nod, feeling the stars shining in my eyes. I guess this is how Takahito always feels whenever he sees one of his idols going about. Gotta admit, it's a pretty rad feeling. May I ask what you're doing here on this floor? Are you interested in checking out the game development teams here? But, yeah, I understand you may not be interested in new teams. But, hey, I guess not, since your company is gonna sponsor game development teams for the upcoming competition for the youth, right? I do think, Mr. Kabir, sir, that you're doing one hell of an awesome job. What do you think should be our country's next move? He raises his eyebrows at me, looking amused. Somehow, I've finally gotten over the starstruck feeling, and now I just want to interview him about everything I could possibly interview him about. Whoa, slow down, my boy. I'm actually here for the game development exhibits. You're correct. We are interested in training young teams, and we think they can help in ensuring a sustainable future for technology and development in our country. Mr. Kabir suddenly smiles, a certain shine appearing in his eyes once more. Still don't fully know what that light in his eyes means, but it's something that I would like to see one more time. If I'm not mistaken, you are also one of these young developers, is that right? Are you a writer? Perhaps an artist? I'm honored that you remembered me. I'm actually neither. I'm currently the director of our group. I help out with the organization and management, though I'm also planning to become one of the voice actors once our current project is complete. The older man nods appraisingly. I see. Well, that's an interesting mix of skills. If you develop them further, I'm sure you'll bring about a change in your generation. He suddenly turns to the exhibition list in the pamphlet in his hand, quickly skimming over each presentation with an obviously skilled and trained eye. Let's see, which one of these works belongs to your team? We weren't able to do anything for the exhibition this year, but we promise that next year we'll do our best to show something. He pauses, then glances at me. That's good. I like your attitude. What's your name? My name is Jun Mizushima, sir. All of a sudden, the smile on his kind face disappears, replaced by a confused gaze. Mizushima? I don't know why, but my heart suddenly feels like it just got dropped to my stomach. There's this weird feeling of uneasiness and anxiety that suddenly started to envelop my whole body. Mr. Kabir, is there any problem? He looks at me distractedly, giving me a reassuring smile. However, his gaze seems to pierce through me 100 miles much further away than I am. No, not a problem at all. He's not good at hiding his feelings at all, is he? I just happen to know a certain Mizashima family. Some old acquaintances of mine. My ears perk up in interest. A Mizashima, sir? I know their name, maybe I know them. As far as I know, most Mizashima are part of my family. Mr. Kabir smiles at me kindly, shaking his head. No, that's quite alright. Perhaps I was just mistaken. It's been a long time, after all. I hope I am... After all, it couldn't possibly be that small, could it? Sir? He just smiles, shaking his head. So it's alright, my boy. Don't worry about it. Oh, I see. Oh, well. Would have been cool if we both knew the guy. Guy can dream. Fate wouldn't be so playful, would she? Sir? Will you join my company's auditions, my boy? Yes, sir. Alright. It was nice meeting you, then. He smiles at me again and starts walking away. For a while, I just stand there, still feeling kind of starstruck. Wow, I can't believe it. I got to have a close encounter with Hailstorm's CEO himself. Takahiro will get so envious. By the way, he suddenly stops walking and looks back at me, his eyes shining like he's amused about something. The auditions will be faceless and anonymous. We as the judges will never know your real identity before the end of the auditions. We will only know once you get chosen. Mr. Kabir gives me his warm, kind smile for one more time. I hope to see you there, Jun Mizashima. Yes, sir. He nods at me and turns his back once more. Finally, he disappears around the corner. Wait, did he just say he'd like to see my team win the auditions? I don't know what could be more motivating than that. Whatever happens next, I'm sure we could face it all with a smile. Let's go, team! Two guys coming out from one of the rooms both look at me strangely. Sorry. Forgot that I don't have my team with me right now. They just shake their heads and go as they go on their way. That's the weird guy. Yeah, I've heard strange rumors about him. Can't help but smile, still feeling excited about everything. Can feel it in my bones. This is definitely the start of our journey to reaching our dreams. Just wait for it, world. You'll see. But first, the idea sheet. Oh, it's time to hang out. After the class, I decide not to go home immediately first. Alright, well, since we are currently still playing Yui's Arc, Yui's Chapter, Yui's Route, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to stick with Yui, because I feel like this game is going to punish trying to please everybody. So I just want to go one route, and just go straight down, constant Yui, always Yui. As I said before, I may, depending on how long this game is, I may play other routes. I may not. If this is a 20-episode series, I probably won't do any other routes. If this is 3 more episodes and it's done, I might do another route or 2. I don't know. We'll have to see. But I'm clicking on my girl Yui here. We are going to head off to the park, and we are probably going to have a ball thrown at us again. I head to the park, hoping that I can burn off all the extra energy before going home. Feel like I'm going to burst any time now. A whole variety of emotions is bubbling up from inside me, ranging from excited to amazed to nervous even. Today was definitely a magical day in all sorts of ways. From afar, I could already see my fiery-haired friend kicking a ball around as usual. Hey, Yui! She turns to me, her sour expression immediately turning to one of delight as soon as she sees my face. Aww, that's adorable. Jun, nice to see you here, man. I jog over to her as she waves her hand, calling me over. You know, I'm really surprised you can still find time to hang out in the park with everything that's going on. She gives me a spiteful look, turning ever so slightly away from me. Where's the voice acting, guys? Come on. I only play for 30 minutes a day. No weekends, either. Ah, you give the impression of someone who plays all day. Nah, I always gotta get home early. This is just my exercise. She kicks the ball up high in the air with her ankle. A girl's gotta get her exercise to stay fit after all. She catches the ball with her hands. She grins at me. Well, what about you? Why are you here on such a fine day? Because it's a fine day, as you said. No, that's not why you're here. You're here because you wanted to see Yui. Ain't that right, June? That's why I'm here. Why, don't you want to see me? Nah, I see you every day anyway. She gives me a mischievous look as she laughs. I kid. Feeling a little bit brave today, I grab the ball from her hands, dribbling it down on the cemented ground. Yui just watches me, a perplexed yet amused look on her face. Huh, you sure are energetic today. I just grin at her proudly, showing off my weak dribbling skills. I don't really do any sports, nor am I interested in them. But seeing Yui do all sorts of tricks all the time has me wanting to copy her moves sometimes. I have to admit it looks fun. She always looks like she's having fun, too. Maybe one of these days. Without warning, she steals the ball from me, or moves as quick as lightning. Gotcha! Hey! Still gotta learn more, Mizushima. I laugh, shaking my head. I accept defeat, Kitamura. She stops dribbling the ball, clutching it close to her stomach. She grins up at me. I just hope it's here and not in that audition. Not in the auditions, then. What? Let me try that again. I hope it's just here and not in the auditions, then. You don't even have to ask twice. We'll get in for sure. Yeah, I'm excited for it, too. Guess we'll really have to speed up on our project, huh? Not really speed up, more like stick to the deadline. The deadline? The main problem we've been having recently is that we haven't been able to stick to the deadlines we set for ourselves. It's a much better problem than the one we had before, ain't it? The one about being unable to start because we had no ideas, no plans, no nothing at all? I wrinkle my nose at the memory. Well, that definitely was a problem, but at least we're past that now. I hope we never have to encounter that again. As the composer, I really have no choice but to do nothing when the writer and the artist can't decide on what to do next. I give her a reprimanding glare, which makes her sigh in frustration. Hey, it's not just their fault, you know. I know. I guess I'm just hoping we don't have a problem like that anymore in the future. We won't, if we stick to the deadlines. I chuckle as she makes a disgusted face. I really don't like deadlines. But okay, if we gotta, then we gotta. Of course we have to stick to the deadlines, even if it's hard, even if we feel like giving up. We should just hold on and stick to the deadlines. Stick to the fucking deadlines, guys. That is the advice of a lifetime. Anyway, it'll all be worth it in the end. Yeah, I know. A sincere smile suddenly appears on her lips, the warmth spreading across her whole face. That's why I'm really glad I joined your team, June. I have to admit, I had to rethink it a couple of times, but I'm proud, really proud to be part of your team. If I could do things all over again, I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change anything for sure. I just smile at her, unable to find any words to say. It's hard to get through to Yui sometimes when she thinks with her temper rather than her brain. But it's the rare moments like this that make my heart warm even more to her. Guys, things are getting serious. While she's distracted, I quickly grab the ball from her hands, dribbling it behind me. Her eyes widen in shock before she starts laughing out loud. You're a pretty fast learner, aren't you? She reaches out for it from behind me, to no avail. Give me back the ball. Nope. You have to get it back from me. Yui frowns slightly, pretending to be angry, but I can see her unable to hold back her smile any longer. I just grin at her mischievously as I start running away from her. June! Oh, we're flirting hard now. We are flirting real hard. Oh, God. School bell rings, signifying the end of the class and the start of the lunch break. For me and my team, though, it means time to discuss important game stuff. In other words, eating together in the cafeteria time. Oh, new place. Hello there. As always, the cafeteria is jam-packed, but thanks to Takehiro's speedy moves, he has already managed to snag us a table for 5 before the swarm of starving creatures, also known as human beings, flock to the place. Recently, we realized that we'd only ever meet up in the club room, so we decided to do something differently, like eat in the cafeteria for a change.
I'm hungry.
Thank God I don't have to do voices anymore. Well, some voices. Yui moves her hand to grab one of the slices of bread on the table, only for Takehiro to swat it away. Not without the other two.
Ugh, you guys are such...
I smirk a little at Taka. You're pretty disciplined today. He just gives me a thumbs up, looking quite confident about himself.
Aren't I always?
Whoa! Bro, you gonna start talking for real now? Yui scowls at his answer.
Nope, no way in hell. Won't you give me something to eat?
I shake my head at the sudden change of emotions on her face. She's just hangry. She certainly knows how to adjust herself based on the situation. Yui, we can eat after Sumiki and I arrive.
Sheesh.
She faces away from us, looking slightly upset. I would love to pander to her sulking, if only for the fun of it, but it's probably best to focus on Takehiro for now. After all, there is one that I'm a bit curious about. Hey, Taka, how come you were able to get us a table today?
You know that student assistant who serves here sometimes?
Who?
That,
He cranes his neck, looking for somebody amidst the sea of people. For a few seconds he just looks around, seemingly searching for something. Or rather, someone.
there she is.
He points into the distance toward a young woman who is currently getting some dirty dishes from a table at the opposite end of the cafeteria. The moment he catches her eyes, he smiles. She smiles back, albeit a little shyly. Oh dear. Yui gives him a naughty grin.
So, you dating her?
Maybe. Takehiro's face immediately turns into a deep shade of red.
No.
Yeah, right.
Don't be silly. I'm just tutoring her.
Ha ha. Ha ha. Ho ho. Ho. Private tutor sessions. Oh dear. We know what that means.
Ooh, in exchange for this table?
In exchange for other things, I'm sure.
It's part of the deal.
Part of the deal.
And what's the other
Ha.
part?
See, this is why Yui's best girl. This is why Yui's best girl. We are on the exact same wavelength. She moves her eyebrows up and down in a suggestive way, obviously insinuating something. Can't help but chuckle at her little antics. Taka's face grows even redder.
No, don't be stupid, Yui.
What? Just saying.
Just saying nothing.
Hesitantly, he takes a stolen glance at the girl's direction. His eyes widen all of a sudden before his head snaps back down.
Oi, what's that?
She glances at the girl's direction too and suddenly bursts into laughter.
Oh, man.
My curiosity gets the best of me, and I turn to where they were looking at, only to see the girl talking happily to a fairly decent young man who seems to be trying to help her with her load. Oh dear, maybe she'll then help him with his load, if you know what I mean.
Guess your brain's no match for that guy's brawn, eh, Taka?
Oh, fuck that nonsense. Taka doesn't say anything, still keeping his head down low. Before Yui could launch into another attack, the other two members finally arrive. Can't get lucky with that one. My, I never thought this place would be so unpeaceful. She plops down right beside me, while I remain standing at the side of the table. Her face is blank as always, but it's pretty obvious that she's concerned about something.
What's the matter?
Slowly, she brings two hands to her ears.
It's so noisy here.
The rest of us can't help but chuckle at her little reaction. It's true. It is pretty noisy here in the cafeteria. It's the kind of noise that one would miss in solitude. I pouts, putting her sketch pad on the table.
Why are people so noisy?
Because they're all assholes. Sumiki smiles gently at her, and she guides the other girl to sit down. Sit. There you go. I just stares right in front of her, her face once again lacking any form of emotion. We rarely go here anyway, we rarely go here anyway, so it's best to make the most out of it today. Hesitantly, Ai nods.
Okay.
Sumiki smiles again before turning her eyes toward the middle of the table. I see you have prepared. Have you gotten those foods for us? These foods for us? I did indeed get these foods for you. Course.
We didn't even want to start without you two.
Oh, really? That's not how I remember it. I give Yui an "oh, really" look, which she just returns with a sheepish grin. Thank you, Yui. That was very thoughtful of you. I make fake gagging motions, which Takahiro seems to find funny. Yui, however, is not amused, but I'm sure she's already used to our kind of teasing.
Can we finally eat now?
I think we can finally eat now. Feel free.
Hurrah! Here we go, food!
Yeah, food! Yeah! She dives right into the slices of bread, looking like a kid in an amusement park. Takahiro goes for his favorite bacon pork, while I and Sumiki both get more modest portions of food. I myself am interested in trying out the buttered bread. Oh, fuck this guy. I don't even remember his voice. Douchey voice. Well, look what we have here. I'd recognize that voice anyway. Really? Because I think I do a different one every single time. I wouldn't even recognize the voice. The five of us are so busy eating that we don't even notice the arrival of our rival group, aka the bane of our existence in this school. It's Kagura's team again. What an awfully typical way of interrupting somebody's lunch. What are you small fry doing over here? As far as I know, you're supposed to remain locked inside that tiny little room of yours, cramming your progress on your failure of a game. You don't have time to waste here in the cafeteria where people who are not such suckers as you can enjoy the food. Fuck this guy. I can feel my blood start to boil at his words. What did my team ever do wrong to him and his group? He never lets up on the opportunity to talk down to us whenever he sees it. Turn around to answer him, but Sumiki speaks up before I even have the chance to open my mouth. What are we doing here? Eating, as you can clearly see. Unless you're too dumb to determine what activity we're currently engaged in. I almost spit out my food with her answer. Sumiki scolds me all the time, but rarely refers to my mental capacity while doing so. What's gotten into her? Even the rest of Kagura's group look equally as shocked as my own. Obviously, Kagura is not pleased by this rebellious reply. What did you just say? You really not hear me? Are you just mentally impaired? But are you not just mentally impaired, but also physically impaired? I apologize. I do not want to be unkind to people who require assistance. Look here, you stupid. Come to think of it, perhaps I should also apologize for calling you impaired. That would be a grave insult to those who genuinely suffer from disabilities, to be putting them in the same category as you. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. She's gonna get my ass beat. Kagura looks really pissed. Maybe I should have stopped Sumiki when I had the chance. Slowly, he moves over to her. As he leans over her much smaller form, he looks her straight in the eye. I feel myself heat up even more at the sight. You're gonna regret your words, you little piece of... Kagura, we can't create any ruckus here. I don't care about that. You heard what this woman said. You think I'll let her get away with it? Sumiki is trying her best to look brave, but I can see from the way her arm is slightly shuddering, and even her courage is starting to ebb away from her. Both frustration and anger are quickly bubbling up inside me, threatening to get out. Maybe if I use my powers. The sigh of Kagura antagonizing my own teammate is just too much for me. Missing a T there. I rub my wrist furiously, trying to conjure my power without closing my eyes. It's hard to concentrate, but I just need my power to be activated right now. The power of wishes. Now's a good time to use it than any. If I activate it and wish for everything to stop, I'm sure that will solve this dilemma in a pinch. I need it. I need it to be able to help Sumiki. I need it to be able to do something. Why won't it work? Eyes normally blank expression is now replaced by one of terror. Damn it, damn it, damn it! Takahiro wouldn't even dare look at Kagura's teammates. It worked before, back when I was a kid. Why won't it work now? Even Yui, who's usually the most outspoken one in the group, could barely say anything. I'm useless. I can't help my team. I can't do anything. Why won't it work just when I need it the most? To my surprise, I see Kagura looking straight at me, a mocking grin on its face. Let me guess. You're trying to make your power work, aren't you? You believe you have powers, don't you, small fry? Stare at him angrily, with daggers in my eyes. Could let it go if it was just me, but no. He chose to involve my teammates in this. I can't just let it go. Kagura's irritating grin only grows bigger. To my greater annoyance, he turns toward his own team, along with about half of the people in the cafeteria getting their attention. Look at this guy. He believes he has powers. Can you believe it? He doesn't. He's completely delusional. I feel all the anger surging through my veins, just like blood. I can't take it anymore. This has gone on for far too long. I open my mouth to say something, only to be cut off by somebody else.
Hey, piss off!
Fuck yes. Well, there's Kagura. Fuck yes. I'm wondering, I would imagine this is probably variable depending on which character's route you're on. But since I'm on Yui's route, I'm guessing that Yui's the one who's stepping up here. But fuck yeah, Yui. Fuck yeah, Yui. To my surprise, Yui suddenly stands up, slamming her hand down hard on the table and shielding me from Kagura.
Mark my word, if you don't leave Jun alone, I swear to whichever deities you pray to that I'll beat you to a pulp.
Fuck yes, Yui. You fucking go. Her sudden outburst and her uncommon accent seemed to surprise Kagura, as well as the crowd watching. Isn't she a bit unclassy? Yeah, definitely. What a girl. Is she even one? Fuck that guy. But Yui doesn't seem to mind all the attention. In fact, she seems to bask in it. Spotlight's on her and all.
What? You got nothing to say now? Ha! Aren't you a coward?
Tear him the fuck up, Yui. What did you say? Although Kagura tries to maintain a poker face, I can see the veins in his temples and forehead almost threatening to pop out. Scary. Must take a huge amount of willpower to be able to control his anger like that. Then again, with everything he's done in the past, it's already quite obvious that Kagura has a bigger than normal amount of willpower in him. In a way, it's actually rather admirable. Not a lot of people can do all the things he's done, be it good or bad. Right now, though, what he's doing is far from admirable. A coward? Is that what I am? Is that what you think I am? He starts walking closer to Yui, step by step. Punch him! Just fucking punch him! Fucking punch him! With his every step forward, my red-haired friend instinctively takes a step back. No, kick him in the balls. Her actions only make Kagura grin devilishly, obviously enjoying the spectacle. If I'm a coward, then what are you now? Yui backs up to me, and I gently hold her upper arms. As she turns to gaze toward me, I see the deep pools of emotion in her eyes. I wouldn't be surprised to see fear and perhaps panic reflecting in my own, but what I actually see is something I didn't expect. In Yui's eyes, I see determination. What, June? Is this your savior? You're more of a pansy than I thought. I'm like a girl save you, and a girl like this of all people. What the fuck do you mean by that? All talk and no walk. Pitiful. He smirks one last time before turning around to go back to his teammates.
Pitiful. Looks like it's coming from the wrong side of the equation, huh? Newsflash, Mr. Kagura. I'm not a mirror.
Kagura stops in his tracks. Slowly he turns around, the anger in his face now very apparent. What did you say?
A girl like me, huh? I'll show you what a girl like me can do to a guy like you.
Kick him in the balls. Ooh, I'm scared. What could that be?
Don't ask me. Ask them.
She's gonna fucking punch him. She fucking punched him. She fucking punched him. Guys. In a flash, Yui throws a mean right hook to Kagura's jaw, sending him staggering backward in pain and shock. Ow. The crowd gasps, and even I have to admit that her sudden punch sent my jaw dropping to the floor rather quickly. Did she just... Yes, she did. Whoa, that's gotta hurt. How did she do that? Did she even have the strength to do that? The rest of Kagura's teammates start rushing over to him, helping him as he drops to his knee, still clutching his jaw. Ugh, damn it, it hurts. Yui turns to the rest of the crowd, who backs away from her like a wave receding from the shore.
What? He asked for it.
Totally. While Yui is distracted by the crowd, Kagura stomps over to her, who has her back turned to him. I hurriedly block his view of her, shielding her from his impending threat. Stay back, Jun Mizashima. I'm not yet through with that girl. She's through with you. He glares at me, opening his mouth to speak. Before he could say anything, however, my teammates all gather around us, shielding Yui as well. I guess we're done with Takehiro's voice. I can't get through here, mate. That would have to come through. You would have to come through us.
Yeah.
He grits his teeth, looking like a trapped mouse. Along with the crowd hovering dangerously close, there's absolutely no way to go but out of the cafeteria, and I'm sure Kagura knows that full well by now. His other teammates start pulling him back, begging him to finish this another day. To my relief, he relents, shaking off their hands on his shoulders and arms. Fine, I'll get back to your pathetic team one of these days, Mizushima. And I'll make sure your luck runs out soon, like it should have many years ago. With that, they leave without another word, the crowd parting for them to pass through. Yui just stares at them as they walk away, looking a tad bit disappointed.
Playtime's over, I guess.
You're a fucking man. Yui's the best. Yui's the best. I would like to see. I want to see what the other characters do. I'm assuming that's not always going to be Yui. I'm assuming that's going to be whichever character. I could be wrong. It could always be Yui. I don't know. But I feel like that's going to be whatever character whose route I'm going down, and I'm very curious how other characters would react to that. I don't know. Maybe it is just always Yui. Who knows? Sumiki hits her on the head.
Ow!
Playtime, you had us all worried. Do not be so reckless next time. Hey, go a little easy on her. You're fantastic, Yui.
I know, right? I've always wanted to do that.
They start doing a little dance together as the three of us sigh.
Can we go back to food now?
Yes, please.
Right? I'm so hungry.
Hey, wait. I want more of that bread.
Nuh-uh.
Children, settle down. I just chuckle, shaking my head as Sumiki follows them up with another hit at the back of their heads. At least it's all over now, thanks to Yui. For now. Alright, guys. Well, with that, we're going to go ahead and end off the episode here. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. And make sure that you're subscribed for more of his Chuunibyou Can't Be Cured, as well as whatever else is currently on this channel. So thank you guys. Next time we will continue on. Apparently we're walking Yui home, which is pretty cool. I'm sure we're going to have a nice, touching scene with her. So yeah, look forward to that. I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.